Hey Commanders, Pro-Tah-Zzioh back with a new video, and this time we're featuring a 2v2 battle against the Clan Company. This was a back-to-back battle, and the first battle we lost to them, and here are some clips on what happened in the battle. So the first one was me losing my alligator, and this clip is my partner, Gankijash, who lost his hawks trying to do some damage to the enemy base, and at the right timing, the green player moved in with his Vikings and destroyed my alligators, and after that moves in to destroy my naval defenses as well as my shipyards. That's a ton of Vikings, so I wasn't really prepared to defend or fight in the sea, since I didn't see that the enemy had that many Vikings. So my partner, Gankijash, tries to help me with his hawks, but there's just too many Vikings to deal with. So I was able to at least amass a JCP army, but it gets bombed right before I get to the enemy Zeus shield. I did manage to destroy the Zeus shield, but my chameleon ran out of energy, and Thors and Vertexes did the job of finishing my army off. So here's another clip of Gankijash destroying an airfield, but there's just way too many Vertex to deal with, and he ends up losing his hawks again. And here's another clip, same story. This time he tries to attack the airfield of the blue player. He did succeed on destroying that, but gets his hawks destroyed as well. And here's another clip where his HQ finally gets destroyed. So after rebuilding his HQ, he got hit by a space strike, and after that first space strike comes in a next one, which totals his buildings, including his newly built HQ. So with all other buildings destroyed, he tried to rebuild his HQ one more time, but gets destroyed by all those vertexes, which eventually leads to our defeat. So this time, let's take a look at how we were able to come back and score a winning battle against Company, Kiril Bodrov, and Sharap05. So we fight in the H Island, me as the red player and Gankijash as the yellow player, since he prefers to be the yellow one. I spawn on the left side and he spawns on the right. So container collection, nothing crazy, just the usual opening. So what I do here is when, or after I saw the enemy assaults, I immediately switched into gold infantry attack so that I'll be able to win the engagement. So early Fortress is able to get into position onto those two big containers. Gankijash wanted me to fall back to cut off our losses, but I had advised him that I already have an armadillo incoming, and we proceeded to contest the big containers. The Confederation players were able to crack the big containers and was able to score at least one of the containers that came out of the two big ones, and after we were able to deal with their vehicles, we were able to get all the remaining 5 containers, 4 for me and 1 for my partner. So that was a big hit, since that's gonna improve our ability to develop our bases. As you can see, I'm already upgrading into HQ3, and I have been asking Gankijash to send a Kaiman to the side of my base to collect the containers in the sea. Good scouting here. We were able to spot that the green player was going Avia, and This time I was able to upgrade my base into HQ4. So what I'll be doing is I'll be rushing into a JCP combination again. So we can see here, blue player also HQ4 and has 2 vehicle factories. Gankijash gets that naval container, and we finally see a Vertex that will be scouting our bases. So I mobilized my vehicles to position themselves on the big container, so I'll be able to secure that. Vertex tries to contest that, but I did have a few porcupines to shoot him away. Gankijash was able to do the same and was able to secure the big container in the sea. So I go in with my JCP army, but they weren't clustered up properly, given that it was pretty hard to maneuver going into that very steep hill, and I didn't see that the blue player was able to amass hammers to counter my JCP. Hammers is a really good counter to the JCP combination, given that hammers are very cheap and they have good mobility and survivability, and they also have a pretty good damage output, so they would be able to deal with Jaguars pretty well. So here I'm asking if Gankijash was gonna go bombers. He was saying that the green had him, so he was also going JCP, and then he asks to keep going pressure and we should go with the green first. I told him that I couldn't break the blue player's defenses given that it was so many hammers. So I followed his command in terms of attacking the green player and only putting up gun towers to defend my base. So we positioned our army, and once the go signal was given, we went ahead and proceeded to attack the green player. So as we can see, he has quite a few number of Zeus to defend his base. So what he does is he tries to maneuver his Zeus up the hill so that the Zeus would be able to position themselves in the buildings, or rather in between buildings, so that the Jaguars or our tanks would attack the buildings first. So blue player comes in from the side with his hammer shield combination, but will be able to go deep into the green player's base, bury our Jaguars into the heart of his base, and have them sieged up so that they'll be able to do double the damage. So our chameleons are now positioned as well to hide our units. Hammers passed by, and what I did is I focused fired on those shields or those shield generators so that we can lower the survivability of the hammers and deal with them pretty easily. So Gankijash has his units far to the right, and I had my units right in the middle to engage the blue player's hammer shield combination. So we were able to deal with both the green player's defenses as well as the reinforcements of the blue player. So Gankijash has his reinforcements positioned at the lower hill in case the blue player comes in with additional reinforcements. So I had 3 Jaguars go out of position, and instead of going up that hill, they went into this bridge and ends up getting caught by the hammers again. So now we have reinforcements. So I'm asking Gankijash if he's got some dragonflies, and he said that he was gonna need more CP to deal with them. So hammers coming in to attack my JCP army. So I had a few infantry block them so that my JCP would be able to escape. So instead of doing vehicle attack, I went with vehicle scouting so that I'll be able to get additional movement speed to outmaneuver those hammers. So a small engagement here, a couple of Jaguars from Ganji and a Chameleon. I think he's trying to get those units killed so that he'll be able to replace them with Dragonflies. So realizing that the blue player is now out of position, I went in to try to attack the shield, but it gets away along with majority of the army. So I go ahead and try to attack this turret instead. So I'm trying to position my JCP army now to engage the hammer shield combination of the enemy. I was able to position them in a pretty good concave and hide them all inside the chameleon fog. So all Jaguars sieged up and are fighting the hammers. Looks like there were way too many hammers to deal with this time, and he was able to clean my JCP army up. Okay, Chameleon runs away there with barely any HP left. So I still continue to produce more Jaguars. This time I dropped producing any porcupines since the blue player didn't have any avian units. We also left a few units in the spawning area of the green player to ensure that he won't be able to rebuild. So now with Gankijash's ground units dead, or majority of them dead, he was able to furnish or produce Dragonflies to counter the hammers. Also, the blue player had adjusted as well and added Typhoons into his army. Gankijash goes in to kill the Typhoon first so that his Dragonflies would be uncontested. He goes in to freely attack those hammers while they are chasing my JCP army, who's maneuvering behind that mountain so that the hammers would not be able to chase them easily. Jcaz goes in to or maneuvers his Dragonflies to focus fire on that shield and was able to successfully take that out. Green player tries to rebuild here, but there was no scout from the blue player to see if he was clear to build his base again. So we were able to deal with his HQ pretty quick. So I positioned my Jaguars here, hidden in the chameleon fog, but the chameleon decides that he wanted to move away, and realizing that I was able to move the chameleon back, but it ran out of energy. Good thing that the number of hammers were already thinned down by the Dragonflies. And looking here, Gankijash already has HQ5 and an enormous base, and would be able to freely produce any unit at his convenience. So he goes in with his Dragonflies and deals with the air defenses first. And I do the same with my Jaguars. I position them just down the hill and siege them up to destroy that rocket tower. So blue player still tries to produce units to defend his base, but this is already GG for him. So we were able to get our sweet revenge versus the company clan from Sharap05 and from Kiril Bodrov. These guys are really good. They play very well, but this time we were able to secure those two big containers in the middle of the map by coordinating that I already had a Dillo coming up, and that Armadillo was able to secure those big containers and help me advance my development, which eventually gave us the advantage over the enemy. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. I hope you leave a like and subscribe to my channel for additional Art of War 3 content, battle replays, tips and tricks, guides if any. So watch out for more content coming from Pro-Tah-Zzioh. See you again, and good luck on the battlefield.